Okay, collaborative community. That's what we're talking about. I've done one collaborative community, and actually, let me just tell you the day and time. I do this every day, actually. It's not just for this audio or video. Today, it's Sunday, June 26, 2011. It's summer. It's the second quarter. It's week 25. It's day 177, and a chrono number, what we call chrono number, 2011-06-26. Okay, so all day long, I have been trying desperately to get some audios back to you that have done the R3. I really appreciate your feedback to the R3 model. Unfortunately, sometimes you're just not in the mood for certain things, and so I literally just had to move to collaborative community. Collaborative community and the concepts of collaborative community have been on my heart quite a bit lately, and some of these things will have a lot of pain with it as well as details. But what we're doing, if you looked at the first collaborative community, this will probably be number 2 released. We're trying to define or trying to solidify what is a collaborative community. We define community and collaboration, but we're trying to give a definition of collaborative community. And this concept that I want to talk to you about right today, or right now, is, if I were to give it a title right now, it would be Nurturing Community Environment, Delegated Responsibility and Mentorship Programs. There's 2 things I want to talk about here. One is that someone would be in charge of everything, and the second thing is someone is responsible for you. Now, I have done a lot of videos. I've done 27 are public right now on R3 Shreveport. And if I could be just drastically honest, I think we all go through this. But the most discouraging thing is when you put yourself out there and everything's left for chance. Someone answers you, someone doesn't. So you wake up in the morning, maybe you don't, but I surely do. Wake up in the morning and see, did someone respond? And if someone didn't, your mood's down. If someone did, your mood's up. I'm sorry. Maybe everyone's not like that, but I'm like that. And especially with someone with autism, and I name that a lot because I believe that, we have to identify, society gives us all sorts of labels. We might as well embrace the ones they give us if we agree with them. And I think people with Asperger's and autism spectrum disorder, I think they even need more reinforcement than most people, because they're always reading social cues and trying to define, to see, am I doing this right? What am I doing? Am I doing what to get the right results? So anyway, putting that aside, putting autism and putting that group aside, or us that have that aside, let's just look at collaborative communities, and let's look at them and see what attributes can a collaborative community have. One of them, this has to be in a collaborative community. I don't care whether you're CentrePort or some other collaborative community. You've got to have where there's someone in charge of something. Because right now, in today's day, it's probably one of my pet peeves, and it's the most grievous situation that I deal with on a regular basis. Both in family life, both in social life, government life, whatever it may be. Did you know basically no one's in charge of you? You're lost. You're by yourself out there. Whether you succeed or you don't succeed, no one really, it's by random chance if someone overlooks you. In fact, it's even by random chance if you're born into a family, whether that family will rear you or they don't rear you, and how they're going to deal with you. Everything is by chance. Or let me give you a good example. Another example, let's say you're in SharePoint community. This is a big thing for us because there's a few of us that are in SharePoint community. You post a question, and if you're cool, you'll get a response if you're well-liked. If you're not well-liked, you don't get a response. So everything is happening randomly. It is probably one of my chief aims in life, and probably the most annoyance of people around me that don't agree with this. They're like, sometimes people fight against this topic. Don't organize community. The point of community is freedom, and everything's random, and okay, that's great, but nothing gets done. And that is my point. Wouldn't it be nice, wouldn't it be a beautiful thing if you woke up every morning and someone was not in charge is probably not a good word, but someone was responsible for your success. And if something happened to them, there would be some protocol in place that someone else would be in charge of your success. I mean, it happens in the animal kingdom all the time. At least I think it does. It seems to. But in society, where that dog eat dog or whatever, of course that's animal kingdom, but that's a thing, but even in dogs they have a pecking order, they have a responsibility, and you either fall in that in the right way or you don't. But it seems even more random with social situations with human beings, and it's the most grievous thing I've ever seen in my life. So, and I guess I experienced that way personally because I've been on the other side the most, but it is my chief aim in life, one of them, is to make sure that in our community, CentrePort, that this will not exist. But if you're creating a collaborative community, and when you think about outlining a collaborative community, I want you to think about this aspect. Is someone in charge of every aspect of what's going on? For instance, questions that are being posted, is someone in charge of that? Everything that's out there that has to be done, or that is it being left to chance, or is it organized? The second thing is, another aspect is someone in charge of the success of someone else's individual, and someone else is an individual. A beautiful thing I've seen over the years and I've admired is people like martial arts, and we like these things in movies where there's a mentor, there's the sensei or whatever they call themselves, and someone is responsible as someone's pupil. This is what, personally, I would like to see. I can't change every community in the world, but I can change CentrePort. That's what I'm in charge of. Unfortunately, I'm the only one running CentrePort right now. There's no one else full-time running it. I'm the one. So 24 hours a day, I have to be responsible for all posts, all videos. If someone's not being taken care of, if a post needs to be done, I have all responsibility. This is too much for a human being. I personally have to get CentrePort to where there's more people. And I might die well past the time where I get to succeed, meaning I might pass on before I see the success of that. It might come after me. But someday, we as a people have got to take charge of one another, because we don't yet see the principle in place that your success is my success, and my success is your success. I just posted a video recently, and I'm actually kind of, more and more I post these things, and I know I just have to let them filter, I need to let them germinate and everything, but I am very discouraged sometimes when I see the lack or the lack of interaction. And it's just one of the things that, I'm sorry to be so blunt sometimes, but there's no other way to talk about it. Today I had to get something done. I wanted to talk about the R3 model, but quite frankly, I just couldn't do it. I had to be in the mood, because this is really where my heart is right now. Because it's something that those in CentrePort that are hearing me, I ask you that if we were to come, I'm not even going to talk to CentrePort because I'm kind of frustrated with most of them right now. I'm just frustrated. I'm sorry. It's just every day I get up. I don't have to get up, but I get up for the sake of mankind, for human beings, for other human beings. Because quite frankly, if I had my choice, this is not the choice of the place I would want to be. Because society is brutal. They're cruel to one another. They don't care about one another, and everything's random. It is a random. It's random, and if you want to get a fair, if you get in trouble by the law or something like that, it's sad because it's by chance whether you get a lawyer or not. Yeah, you're designated a lawyer, I know, but if you get justice or not, it's all up to chance. Everything in our society is left up for chance. If you could hear this concept, please, we must change this. Whether you change it or I change it, I am certainly going to change it in CentrePort, but you need to decide to change it in your collaborative community. If you're building a collaborative community, consider this concept. Is someone in charge of every aspect of what that community has to do and does? Like, for instance, posting questions. Is someone in charge of that? If you're leaving that up for chance, you're not a collaborative community in my book. You're just a community, a random community that is going to randomly survive or randomly not survive. And quite frankly, someday I would love CentrePort to go up against any collaborative community as a competition to see. I bet you we could function at a much higher level than any other community in the world if we can implement these principles. So the challenge is right now it's random. There's no one in charge of making sure CentrePort makes sure it's a success, because I'm in charge of making sure it's a success. And quite frankly, that's why I'm videotaping from a room all the time. if you know anything about my life story, you realize that I'm a recluse. I'm basically have forced myself in a recluse because of my experience, and you want to hear my life story, and you're welcome to. Collaborative community is just my way, one way of giving value back that I don't have to give, but I choose to give. And I hope the day comes when it's our practice as a community to sit down every day and ask ourselves, how can we add value today to not only ourselves, but the community as a whole? This is my contribution. What's yours? It's the best I can say. And thank you for putting up with my ins and my outs, but this is the best I can do today. Maybe tomorrow will be better. Thank you.